guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is my championship matchday 16 score predictions. Now at the time of recording this, it's currently 8 o'clock, so the Barnsley v Bournemouth game is well and truly finished. So unfortunately I won't be able to obviously predict that game in my in this video. But the reason why I wasn't able to get my video out earlier is I finished college quite late today, so I wasn't able to get the video recorded. I knew I wouldn't have been able to get the video recorded and finished in time, so sorry Barnsley and Bournemouth fans, but you're going to have to miss out on this one. I wasn't able to get your prediction in. I did have Bournemouth to beat Barnsley 2-1. In the end it ended 4-0 to Bournemouth, so fair play, I would have got one wrong. So anyway, we'll start off with the Saturday games, and early kick-off on the Saturday is Reading taking on Nottingham Forest at the Matchday Stadium. Now, both of these teams drew midweek. Reading drew 1-1, I believe, away from home to Sheffield Wednesday, which there was a lot of controversial moments in that. In my opinion, Reading should have had at least 3 penalties in that game, and I don't know how they weren't given, because they were all blatant handballs. But it's just baffled me how they didn't win that game, because they should have had at least, like I say, should have had at least 3 penalties, if not more, possibly, with what went on in that game. Nottingham Forest drew out a 0-0 draw, basically. So not the most entertaining of games from these two last time out, both sharing the points with the teams they were playing. But the problem is with Nottingham Forest, they have still been on the back foot with their results, and not really picking up much consistency really in the league. Whereas Reading have started to get back on form a little bit, picking up results where they should be picking up points really. So going off the basis of how the teams played during midweek, I've gone with my prediction is Reading 1, Nottingham Forest 0. But it's going to be I think this will be a very interesting game to see, and if Nottingham Forest can grab all 3 points, that'll be huge for their season. Then we've got a very, very entertaining game, in my opinion, probably the most entertaining of the weekend. Brentford take on Blackburn Rovers. Now, both of these teams won in midweek, with Brentford a 2-0 away victory, with Blackburn picking up a 2-1 home victory. Both of these sides very, very interesting to watch, both entertaining to watch. It's the Ivan Toney versus Adam Armstrong battle. Who's going to finish out top goal scorer? Don't know. It'll be a very interesting battle to watch out for throughout the season, is between them two. But I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. And I'm expecting a lot of goals. So my prediction is Brentford 2, Blackburn 2. On Bristol City then take on Birmingham City at Ashton Gate. Again, both of these teams won in midweek, with both winning 2-1 away from home during midweek. But coming into this one, do I see either side taking all 3 points from this? I do, and I do think it'll be to the home side. I think they'll snatch a 1-0 home victory. So Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 0. Maybe Bournemouth could surprise me in that one, and we'll just have to see. Coventry then take Rotherham in a massive game down at the bottom, towards the bottom of the table. Coventry drawing out a 1-1 draw with Derby County during midweek, whereas Rotherham were unfortunately lost 2-0 at home. So Rotherham, they've been on the worst run of form in away games. Their last 4 away games have ended in losses. Coventry are very solid. They're a very good side and can score goals when they want to. So but I do think Rotherham will be a little bit more resilient and solid at the back for this game. So I do think there'll be a share of the points, and I've gone with Coventry City 1, Rotherham 1. Huddersfield then take on QPR. Again, both of these teams lost during midweek. Very, very interesting indeed. So Huddersfield is a really confusing one. They put in a brilliant performance against Middlesbrough last weekend, and then they'll go to Cardiff on Tuesday, I believe. On Wednesday, and got battered 3-0. Very, very poor defensive mistakes that cost them this game. So I do think they're going to have to find a bit of more solidarity at the back just to, maybe grind out results, or just, to stop teams from getting in behind so easily. And it's a struggling time for Huddersfield at the back. They need to cut out their mistakes if they want to move forward. QPR ran out a 2-1 home loss during the week. QPR have been quite poor recently. Both of these teams like to try and play out from the back but cause mistakes from playing out from the back. So it'll be an interesting one to watch, this one, as two poor defences. But I've gone with Huddersfield Town 1, QPR 1. Millwall then take on Derby at the Den. Obviously, fans are allowed back for this one. Obviously, fans are allowed back for majority of the teams around London and in London. So fans are back for this one. Will it have an effect? Maybe. We don't know. Yet to see it in the not in the Championship, but we yet to see it have a massive effect on a game. Maybe. And a place like Millwall with their fans, it's always a tough place to keep focused with the fans there. Obviously, there won't be that many, but still, Millwall ended up with a 2-1 loss away from home during the week, whereas Derby drew 1-1 with Coventry City. Millwall have drawn the most times out of any team in the Championship this season. And a lot of them are 1-1 draws, and Derby County is starting to jump on the bandwagon of that as well. I'm just going to come straight out with my prediction because it's a pretty simple one. I've gone with Millwall 1, Derby County 1. I think it'll just be a pretty boring stalemate draw in that one, and not much entertainment throughout the game either. Norwich then take on Sheffield Wednesday. I don't understand how Sheffield Wednesday managed to get a draw out of Reading during the week. Like I've said, 3 blatant handballs to give that should have been penalties, but weren't given for some weird reason. Whereas Norwich City had a massive shock during the week with a 3-1 away loss to Luton Town. But the good news for Norwich City is that Timu Pukki is back and ready to go. So it'll be a very, very interesting one to see how that affects Norwich's team and how it affects their morale. I think it will help, and I think it will be poor. I think it'll be a poor showing from Sheffield Wednesday this game. I've gone with Norwich City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Preston North End then take on Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe, a very resilient side, unfortunate to lose during the week at home. Whereas Preston, on the other hand, got a brilliant away victory to Bournemouth, beating them 3-2 with an absolute screamer from Scott Sinclair. I do think Preston's I can't think of the word. Preston's confidence will carry over into this game, and momentum will continue on. And will help them through this game. Wycombe, like I said, are a tough side to break down and are a lot tougher to get 3 points out of than what it was at the beginning of the season. But like I said, I do think Preston's momentum will help them carry them through this game. I've gone with Preston North End 2, Wycombe 0. Stoke then take on Middlesbrough. Both sides won during the week, with Stoke getting a 1-0 away victory and Middlesbrough picking up a 2-1 home victory. Both sides play interesting football, to say the least. It'll be an interesting game to watch. I think this one, obviously, I'm not saying that because I'm a Middlesbrough fan. I generally think it will be quite an entertaining game. I think it's going to be a tough one for both sides, as we like to stay resilient at the back, but Stoke are a very good footballing side to play against. But I do think Middlesbrough might come out with the 3 points of this one. I'm going to back my team, and I have gone with Stoke City 1, Middlesbrough 2, hoping to pick up all 3 points. Just praying that it's as simple as what I'm saying. But yeah, going to be a tough one for both sides there. Swansea City then take on Luton. Obviously, Swansea losing 2-1 away to Middlesbrough during the week, whereas Luton picked up that shock win over Norwich City, that 3-1 win. Luton could take that momentum through with them in this game, but I think Swansea might want to bounce back really quickly from that loss during midweek. And I do think that they'll be a much tougher side than what they were during midweek. So I think it'll be more of a struggle for Luton in this game. I've gone with Swansea City 2, Luton Town 2. And on to the final game of the weekend and the final game of the video. Watford take on Cardiff City. Now, Watford drew out a 0-0 draw with Nottingham Forest during midweek, whereas Cardiff picked up a brilliant 3-0 win over Huddersfield Town. Now, will Cardiff's momentum carry them through this one like Luton and maybe Preston? I think it will. I think it might just counteract what Watford might try and do, not having the best of showings during midweek. I do think Cardiff will pick up all 3 points in this one. It'll be an interesting game to watch. I think this one is two sides that play quite interesting and entertaining football. But I do think Cardiff will pick up all 3 points at Vicarage Road. I've gone with Watford 1, Cardiff City 2. Now, guys, that is all my predictions for this weekend's games. Let me know yours down in the comments. I'll be very interested to see what you've got for some of these games. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. Also, like the video if you enjoyed it as well. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be out in a couple of days. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.